Part 2 of the SCX24 Jeep JLU build. Got a bunch of new parts going in this thing on this episode. We did some cosmetic upgrades and some serious functional upgrades as well. I added some of my old favorite mods, plus some new ones that have hit the market recently. And I think all of it came together really well, and I'm excited to show you guys this, and I'm really excited to see what we made for performance gains in this episode. So let's not waste any time, let's jump in and check out the mods. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did, go over each one. Then we're going to put this thing on the setup table to see what we made for gains. Then we're going to hit the crawler course to see if those gains translate into real world crawling performance. This is going to be a fun one. I'm excited to show you guys this, so let's jump in and check it out. Here's the JLU Part 2. Let's go over the exterior, the cosmetic things first, and then we'll get under the hood here and see what we did for performance. The most striking thing, I believe, is the new wheels and the tire combo that we did here. So these are brand new wheels from DJ Crawler. Really digging these wheels. They're a 1-inch wheel. They've got a wicked heavy ring on the inside, so these things have got some great weight to them. I got this nice satin bronze kind of copperish finish. I think it looks really good against the gray. If you remember, I was going back and forth on the gray versus the bronze wheels prior. But when these showed up, I just had to try these out, and I'm glad I did. I wrapped these in the Little Guy Racing Parts 57mm Swamp King tires. This is a really aggressive combo. I think the wheels have pretty negative offset on them. I feel like it's much wider than it was before. The tires themselves are also significantly wider than the Trench Kings, which may just give it the illusion of a really wider track. I don't know, but I'm starting to feel like it might be too wide. You guys gotta let me know in the comments down below. While we're looking at the front, threw on my favorite bumper. This is the RC Lions Stinger front bumper. I just love how this looks on the SCX24. It's one of my favorite bumpers for a couple different reasons. One, I just really like that Stinger style, but this is also really snug against the body. So it's almost like a high clearance bumper that gives you aesthetics and functionality. Looks really great on there, and it doesn't jut out really far like a lot of the other Stinger bumpers do. Just a really clean, simplistic design here, and just looks really good on the JLU and all other SCX24s in my opinion. Plus it's dirt cheap. I think it was around 12 bucks, so I love this upgrade. I also did, if you can see this, I threw an interior in here. So when I did the 2-speed motor and transmission combo in my son's Power Wagon, I had to ditch the interior in that truck. So I thought I'd just pop it in here and see how it fit, and surprisingly it fit really well. So inside there we've got two dudes. We got a driver and a co-driver, front and rear seats, full dash and everything, and it fit pretty much perfect. Their heads are pretty close to the ceiling, and it's not a Jeep interior, but you wouldn't really know unless you were really looking at it. But I'm pumped to have an interior in here. It just adds to the scale look. Now let's get into the really fun stuff here. Let's open this up. All right, check it out. So what we got underneath here, we did another one of my favorite mods, and that is the Grizzly Works LCG chassis kit, the low center of gravity chassis kit. This is one of my go-to mods for the SCX24 because there's just so much bang for the buck here. And Brandon's quality print and the strength and functionality of these pieces just keeps getting better. This is V3 of the LCG kit, and it's a great kit here. Really like it. So it comes with the front battery tray, shock mount, and body post mount here. That's one piece. You've got your rear shock towers and your ESC mount in the back. And what it does, it sets the battery in the front at an angle nice and low. Going to shift that weight towards the front, drop it down where we want it. Relocates the ESC to the back and gives us plenty of options to customize our shock placement. So if you want to raise it up, fit bigger tires on here, you can. Manipulate your shocks to get whatever type of ride height and tuning that you want out of it. So it's a great kit. Also got some flex extensions because you guys know I love the articulation, and I can't not do some articulation. Got to have that fun factor. So what I did was I put the flex extensions in the back only. Left the front stock. Got a little more room in the back just to give us that fun factor with the articulation, but not enough to throw off our uphill climbing ability. That's my hope anyways. Aside from the chassis, I also put on the Endura MB100 ESC, the brushed ESC that Endura just released recently. If you remember from the last JLU episode, was really struggling with the ESC with the factory electronics. As soon as you start upgrading these things, they really don't handle it very well. But having that throttle input gives you the option to upgrade your ESC, which is exactly what we've done here. So for $22, get this MB100 brushed ESC on here. Completely changes the game when it comes to power delivery, responsiveness, servo output, all of that. Huge, huge, huge improvement. So another tremendous bang for the buck mod right there. That new ESC and electronics combo is now powering this Torque Beast X motor from Mofo RC. Stayed with the brushed motor, not ready to overhaul this and go brushless yet, so just tossed in the Torque Beast X in 50 size. This is a very powerful brushed motor. The magnets on these things are so strong, it almost pulls the driver right out of your hand if you've got it near the thing. Hoping, I haven't really run this yet, I'm hoping with the MB100 smooths out the power curve on this thing. It's a little jumpy, but I'm optimistic we can smooth it out and get good control with this electronics combo. Still running the stock servo, haven't added any more weight or anything anywhere. We're going to run it as is for now and see how we did. I'm excited. These are some impactful mods. It's so much fun to be at this stage in the SCX24 build because everything you do to it really has huge return on investment as far as performance goes. So when we fire this thing up, see how it crawls here. See, it's still, you know, jumps right off the bat there. I was really hoping to get a smoother engagement. It's kind of dead, 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 and then it lurches. But then you can slow it down really well. It's just that initial engagement. I wish it was smoother. Ah, it's a bummer. I think it's still an improvement over stock. Definitely once you get going. Just wish I had had a smoother engagement right off the bottom there. Oh well. Reverse is really slow. I think it's limited to 50% with the MB100. And I don't think there's a way to change that. But it doesn't bother me too much, although it is very slow in reverse. That torque beat's a little noisy. Lots of punch though. Cool. When we know that everything's working, fits in there nice, why don't we get this on the setup table now to see what we get for numbers. Alright, let's check out the RTI first, Ramp Travel Index. I think we're just about maxed out right there at about 16 on the RTI, it looks like. Maybe just shy of 16. Good gain in articulation there, those flex extensions getting the job done. Let's check out our side hill. It's 40. 45. 50. Starting to unload. 54 on the side hill. Now let's try the vertical. 45. 55. 60. I'd say 64 on the vertical. Here we are on the four corner scale. So our weight distribution, we're at 58-42, getting really close to that 60-40 split that we always shoot for. Total weight, just about 500 grams. This is with the battery installed. Left to right distribution is a little skewed, probably because I put that MB100 on the slider. We're very, very close to 50-50 though. So overall, I'm pretty pumped with that. All right, JLU build part 2 on the course. Let's get after it. Now we were able to do everything, every obstacle on the course last time. So now let's see if we can just do it better. That jumpy motor, man. Oh, I was really hoping to get that smoother. I think the power plant may need to be revisited for part 3. I don't know if I'm going to be satisfied with this setup. Love how the Stinger bumper looks and these bronze wheels. JLU's looking good. Love the ESC combo. No issues with the steering or anything. Trying a pretty aggressive line here. The Swamp King's gonna bite. Yep. Nice. The stock steering servo is doing okay so far. These wheels are heavy. We got some good weight up front now too. See how long that servo lasts. Head into Mini Moab now. Go up the escalator. Quick work on the gatekeeper there. Getting some lift. Oh, came back down. Stuck. Nice. Look at that. Totally skipping the understeer. Stuck a gnarly line up there on the side. Was able to get up there clean. That's why I really like doing the course runs. Same lines over and over and over again after doing these mods, because even though we didn't gain a ton on the performance table, but that right there was a huge improvement. Coming across the side hill, sticking really well. Able to stake it there, save it. Gosh, I love how this thing looks. Up Hell's Gate, last challenge line here. The Torque Beast motor is growing on me. Clean run up Hell's Gate. This thing is crushing the indoor course. How about a descent? We never come down the top of this thing once we get to top of the world. What if we come down? I guess that's why. I think if that motor wasn't so jumpy, I think that would have been much cleaner. But that's why I need that smoother power. I was just saying that motor was growing on me. There we go. Nice job. Flirting with disaster on the hot tub. Nice. All right, I'd say episode 2, part 2, phase 2, whatever you want to call it, was a good success. Really like how all these mods came together. It looks fantastic. Great gains in performance, even though we didn't see huge number improvement on the setup table. Big time real world performance gains, I feel. So really happy with the JLU. Still have some room to go. I've got some ideas for part 3, but we are closing the gap very rapidly. Nice. Alright my friends, that's going to wrap it up for part 2 of the Jeep JLU build. Really happy with how things turned out in this episode. We make big performance gains, and I am so in love with how this thing looks right now. So if we can make it look better and perform better, that's a win-win for sure. As happy as I am with this setup currently, I do spot a few items that I do want to address. That power plant, as much as the Torque Beast was growing on me as I was driving it, the jumpiness of that motor, I just don't think I can stand it long term. I need something smoother. I like the power delivery once you get going, but that abruptness off the bottom is just too much. So I'm going to look for a different motor. Might go with a 66 turn, still keeping with the brushed for now, just something a little bit smoother. So I might experiment with some brushed motors. The stock servo is still hanging in there. It is starting to get a little bit weak. I found myself wanting some more steering. It just wasn't able to turn as sharp as I wanted to, coming up against any resistance with these heavy wheels and sticky tires. So I do think we're going to overhaul the steering soon. But nothing's failed on it. I'm just chasing loose ends right now. This is the sweet spot with the build right now, where you haven't gone too off the deep end yet. Still plenty of room to improve, but you just got to be really methodical, pick and choose wisely, and you get great performance gains out of everything that you do. It's noticeable. Still ramping up towards that point of diminishing returns. So we're in the extreme fun zone right now, and I'm loving it. So stay tuned as we keep adding parts to this thing. I've got some tricks up my sleeve for the next couple of episodes. I got some new parts coming. They're going to be great on this thing. And I'll put the link in the description down below for all the parts that we used in this episode. And let me know your thoughts as well. What do you think of the Jeep JLU build? And as always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.